Hey, 1 2 1 2. Here we go. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time. I can see it. I can feel it. Time has come now to reveal it. I've been waiting for a long time. Gotta do it. And won't let nothing hold me down. Gotta do it. Because I may not get another chance. I believe it. If I want it, I can have it. I believe it. Done with falling, done with losing. I can do it. I think I'll tell myself again, I can do it. Yeah. And I'm not gonna stop till I win. 'Cause it's my time to rise. Hey. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time. She's a diva, yeah. She's a diva for. Hey, 1 2 1 2. Here we go. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time. I can see it. I can feel it. Time has come now to reveal it. I've been waiting for a long time. Gotta do it. And won't let nothing hold me down. Gotta do it. Because I may not get another chance. I believe it. If I want it, I can have it. I believe it. Done with falling, done with losing. I can do it. I think I'll tell myself again, I can do it. Yeah. And I'm not gonna stop till I win. 'Cause it's my time to rise. Hey. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time to rise. Hey. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time to rise. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time to rise. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time to rise. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time to rise. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time to rise. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time to rise. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time to rise. It's my time to live. It's my time It's my time to fly. Oh, it's my time. It's my time. She's a diva, yeah. She's a diva for. Hey. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time. I can see it. I can feel it. Time has come now to reveal it. I've been waiting for a long time. Gotta do it. And won't let nothing hold me down. Gotta do it. Because I may not get another chance. I believe it. If I want it, I can have it. I believe it. Done with falling, done with losing. I can do it. I think I'll tell myself again, I can do it. Yeah. And I'm not gonna stop till I win. 'Cause it's my time to rise. Hey. It's my time to shine. Oh. It's my time to live. It's my time to live. 1, 2, 1, 2. Here we go. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time. I can see it. I can feel it. Time has come now to reveal it. I've been waiting for a long time. Gotta do it. And won't let nothing hold me down. Gotta do it. Because I may not get another chance. I believe it. If I want it, I can have it. I believe it. Done with falling, done with losing. I can do it. I think I'll tell myself again. I can do it. Yeah. And I'm not gonna stop till I win. 'Cause it's my time to rise. Hey. It's my time to shine. Oh. It's my time to live. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. Oh, it's my time. It's my time. She's a diva, yeah. She's a diva for
Hey, my kids, how are you all doing?
Fantastic.
Can y'all see me okay? Because I'm trying to get the light. Can you see me better now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear us good?
I hear you fine. I hear you
Okay,
perfectly
great.
fine. I was just sitting here listening to the intro, but looking at your whole logo. I really have not paid that close attention, unfortunately, and forgive me, but it is so lit. I love it.
Awesome.
The
Thank
filthy
you.
with the soil, with the bling coming out of it. That's
Yes.
I love it. I was like, okay, I get it. I
Thank
love it. I
you.
love it.
It's to represent because I do grow with gems and stones.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You did tell me
So
about.
yes, I'm
You put
trying
that in the
to,
soil?
yeah, so I add them to the top of the soil. For me, when I was working with, I did in-home daycare for 10 years. So as I was working with kids, you get a lot more interested if, especially with the girls, if you could put some bling or something, on the top. So it was just beauty at first. And then, learning, I'm not that acclimated into all of what each stone does yet, but I definitely did know that citrine was one of the ones that would help with, like liver. And I had a lot of ladies that needed to detox the liver. So I was using citrine for that. And then amethyst was one of the, and rose quartz were kind of like helping with heating the soil. So just trying to sprinkle literally some cool stuff. Yeah, gems.
That is so lit. I'm loving. We got to bring that whole thing out. You hear me? That is something very
Yes.
unique. I love it. I see that you have Mr. Raven. I'm so thankful to have you all part of our National Women Agriculture team. What they call him, Mr. Rock. I would say Raven, Mr. Rock, right? Well, I want to get right into it. You guys, I'm here in Washington, D.C. Okay. I don't know if you knew that, but I'm here. I was called to the table, which is a very important table, with the Farm Bureau, top leaders. It's a women's summit. And it's myself and one other Afro-American female here from Indianapolis. And literally, we bonded, but I have bonded with so many other great women that want to open chapters also, and also help, because we're about to go to the Hill to meet with congressional leaders. That's what this was all about, is to help train the leaders throughout America, women leaders, to advocate for certain things in agriculture. So now we even have some more that we're bringing onto the coalition to help with what we're trying to do, become an actual grant funder. I don't want to go into all that. I want to hear everything about you. You all, I want to first thank you for taking the time to spend this hour with me. Try not to keep you a complete hour, but just being able to be a part of the organization. What you do is unique. Like I said, looking at your logo, everything about what you stand for just aligns with what our sisterhood stands for, as well as brotherhood. because we have brother chapter leaders, and I want you just to tell your name. You went into a little bit what you actually do, but we want you to go back over that and just and as well as your co-founder of your chapter and just everything you like to share with us. And I think everyone out there that's listening, I'm kind of going fast just because my adrenaline's going. I just got through with a lunch meeting, so it's all yours. And thank you again, Mrs. Houston. This is your show.
Thank you for having me. My name Awesome. My name is Darceia Houston. I am the founder of Filthy Rich Nutrients LLC. I also have a nonprofit called Hip Hop Crop Curriculum, and that is Filthy Rich Nutrients. Filthy Rich Nutrients is a project management agricultural company that works with churches and schools to implement, just garden plans and the sustainable funding ecosystem. Everyone that usually has gardens or they're big institutions, they have grant funds. And so they get those funds and they really believe that they can just get those volunteers. Everybody will be excited. They can leave it alone. They'll be able to harvest and eat well. And then they learn that, people get burnt out and there's more support needed and there's more deliverables that they would like, whether it be political capital or social capital. Everybody or each institution also wants to be a beacon and look good, but if they're not meeting those measures and those deliverables, they don't get that funding cycle again. So they want to maintain that. And that is where I come in to make sure that the project is implemented correctly, that I'm there to train their volunteers, in addition to providing all of the videography and photography so that they can prove that they're doing these things. In addition to, my goal is to impact the community and their health. A lot of people are getting grants, but yet you have it in our community. You're doing food giveaways and food drives. But how do we know what the diabetes level is? Did it improve? Did it increase?
Yes.
So how are we measuring how these urban dollars are being spent in our community? And I can hold these institutions accountable, because working in the industry as a farmer, a commercial farmer in the beginning, and harvesting for the women, infant, and children market here in Dallas, one thing I discovered was everyone that was coming to the clinic was iron deficient. And I'm here selling beets and I can't sell a one. And I know that pregnant women can't eat beets in a irregular way because of very high content. So those beet were extremely important. So always making sure that we had the whole crop and not just half the crop. I want the roots and I want the top. Why are we chopping anything off? And with that said, I was able to start selling beets. It took me 3 years to sell about 58 pounds a market. But I was starting off with nothing. Nobody wanted them. And then now, as the years went on, I did it for 3 years total. I was able to bump that up and actually introduce them to golden beets and chayoga. I think the variety is just different things. But that's to be impactful and actually have the measurable behind it to say it's really real. Which is why I would love to introduce you to my business partner that is helping me move forward in this movement, because we the movement.
We the movement.
We the movement. Exactly, baby. You are the movement.
Yes. We are the movement.
Love it.
So I am Jerry Robinson. Everybody calls me Jerry Ra.
Yes.
I am the owner of the Green University, where we take people through aquaculture training and also cultivation. We provide maintenance, we provide genetics, just general consulting in the hemp industry. And what we try to do is bring more aquaculture into the Black and brown community. Because we're just not meeting those seafood level demands here in the US right now. I think it is another great stream of revenue that a lot of our farmers either overlooked or didn't think about. And so we try to educate them on that, bring small to mid-sized projects to their farms that they can be profitable on. And so as Darceia said, I am her right hand in
Yes.
as the vice president. And it is my job to make sure that the projects and goals that she has for our chapter are implemented. And,
Mhm.
I have no problem getting my hands dirty and putting that work in because, like she said, we
Yeah, the
are the movement.
movement. Yeah.
You are the movement. You don't talk about it. You actually do it. Like I tell people, there's talkers, takers, and posters.
Yeah,
Oh,
But I didn't forget about the posters because that's what I see. But
yeah,
then you have those of us that are out there really making it happen, doing the work consistently. And
absolutely.
that's what I'm so blessed and thankful to have you all on the team. You are the team. Like what you're doing is a whole nother piece of agriculture. It's just over the top to the point. Like I said, I want to bring you out more and more and more to make sure you're educating and reaching the people and getting the funding you need to do what you do, because that's the main thing.
important
You
thing.
cannot operate without funding.
That's
Which
right.
brings me to right now, do you all participate in any USDA programs? I say there because that's National Women in Agriculture's main funder. Do you participate in one? The Farm Service Agency, FSA. That's the one stop that you have to get the farms registered with their ID, their own social security number, if you will, before you could participate in number two, which is NRCS, and we go on to AMS. All these acronyms are different agencies within the USDA. So to answer my question, you all participate?
Yes. And so personally, all of our clients, that's what our first goal is, to get them a farm number
Mhm.
and through FSA. And our guest on our podcast next week will be my first, about 6 years ago. She was the first through the Farm Ally grant. I was able to take her along from market all the way to get her solidified. Sister Girl's got hoop houses now. Her livestock, what it to do. She's Purple Heart Queen of Dallas.
Yes, she is.
Look
She
at
has
that.
moved that was so powerful. And that's what the template that I'm using for land and homeowners that we're working with currently. In addition to myself, I purchased a small piece of raw land in Maybank, Texas. And so I'm also in the process. So every time either I'm walking somebody else, I'm in it, or I'm walking along on their own, or the institutions themselves. Because at the end of the day, once you have that farm number, or you might
Mhm.
have family land, you are subject to do things or implement, but you don't have that funding. And a lot of people are a one-track mind and they believe, oh, because my Uncle Earl, he got the land and it's 56 acres. And it's just him in charge. Well, why doesn't Uncle Earl split up that land so everybody can have a farm number and everybody can have some benefits? And now you have a
That's great.
collective action movement and you can do what needs to be done. But if you get that just one gatekeeper, it's
It'll
really,
never grow.
yes, overstood.
That is the actual problem with most of America. I don't care what color they are. For some reason in agriculture, they think they could do it by themselves. Well, I'm here to tell them they're not going to get any big grant money doing it by themselves because they don't
Right,
fund individual farmers, period.
right.
And I only know of a couple government agencies that do fund
Mm-hmm.
individual farmers. When I say that's actual SARE, SARE, are you all familiar with that agency? Okay, SARE has a program where individual farmers can file for grants. It could be, I think, from 5 to 15,000 for 2 years. Um, it's a program. Also, your Department of Agriculture, like Texas Department of Agriculture, or whatever state you're in. I know in Oklahoma we have what they call a diversification grant, meaning that you could actually, whatever you're doing on your property currently, you could diversify and do something else. Even if that's value added or whatever, there's some grant money, unlike a loan money that you have to pay back. But this loan money with Farm Service Agency is where we're really missing it because it's the lowest interest rate loan you can get. And you can even buy a house with some land to do agriculture. You could get, that's an ownership loan. You can get an operating loan to actually buy equipment to
Right.
develop your property to make money. When I say make money, that's like developing your farm to be able to sell, to be a productive farmer, if you will, and actually tied into the food system in your community. And that's where I think a lot of people are missing the whole point of getting involved in these programs if you choose to do individual or up under a nonprofit, because that's who get the funding. And I say that being a nonprofit founder, as well as being able to advocate, that's where 90% of our funding comes from, is the USDA, because we were able to show them with a little bit of money they gave us, because we don't even get a fourth of what we're going for as other groups get. Now being the largest minority nonprofit in the world, National Women in Agriculture has reached that threshold. I got that notice yesterday. We're still running down, the facts on that. Yes, yes. I'm like, and when I say from nothing, I am a witness. I'm from a farm, but you could do it if you stay and persevere, because a lot of things went on and they still go on in the organization, on the government level, on the political legislative level. There are a lot of things and hurdles we have to hop, but at the thing, you got to believe in what you do and you got to share. And I am a believer, you have to share. And that's how we are now 60 chapters strong and growing. 60.
You're about to be more. Because I just came from a camping trip. I foraged and camped on the East Coast. And so I flew into Newark, New Jersey, and met with a group, Rabbit Hole Farms. And they had some different challenges with their city. One of the farms had a lease, but got taken in the middle of the night. So we've gotten together. We went to have a healing retreat for farmers in New York. And so during that, we call ourselves the Little UN, because I have a lady from DC, I have another lady from Puerto Rico, and another lady from Colombia, plus and myself. So we are all together. I'm the tallest, and I'm 5'4". And
wow!
And we chop wood. We macheted out. We axing it. We're putting up our tents. We're living on the land together. And I was talking about National Women in Agriculture, what Jerry and I were willing to do, and what our goals were, and they are interested in applying. So they are probably on your website, if not, have already been trying to become chapter leaders in their area, so that we can network in a different way, because Soil and Souls is how I went to Cuba and learned permaculture, and that's through Rev Dele, and she is in DC. Well, with that said, she has provided us with access to her tree nursery. So my elderberry and my black walnut and all the things that I'm growing, I source those trees from her, because certain farmers on indigenous land, Micmac Indians preferably, were interested in clearing the land around their elderberry trees and their medicinal things, so that as the land caretakers, wouldn't destroy the good medicine. And so because of that, we've gotten a lot of opportunities to grow our own trees, a lot of plants, and she has been mental in getting us those trees, which we'll be using at Friendship West Baptist Church here shortly.
So you need to make sure you connect with U.S. Forestry.
Yes.
One of my main mentors is very, very high ranking with the USDA, with the forestry department. So that is another source of income, grant stream, if you will, that you all can implement and have to bring on. The ultimate goal, of course, within our organization is to start giving these, each one of our chapters, of course, get their money to operate in their communities, because that's what we are, community people. But at the same time, we get enough money in each chapter. You can start giving mini grants to farmers, which we wrote our big grant on that, where we will outsource and give money to farmers to help them, because hopefully their hearts will open up where they would want to open up something to teach them. And that's how you build a stronger people. I am so, again, thankful, but I want to get back to what you talked about, growing within the soil with these jewels or these gems or stones. I am just, because you're doing some spiritual stuff. And that, to me, if my mind's not right and if my spirit's not right, or someone's around me or in my life, the spirit is off, I'm very unhappy. I'm like, I'm unhappy. I can't move. I don't want it around me. I'm like, take that back to your life. I even have a sign. When people come in the door, it says, no no bad vibes and low energy, because
There
this
you
is not the place for you to be laying around being lazy. We're
Right.
here to make it do what it do.
That's right.
And this is my happy place. It's signs that say that. Don't bring that to my life. Keep it
Yeah.
away from me, because I got these kids I got to worry about. I'm
Right.
older, so I got to save this. Go ahead, talk to us about those gyms. That's a beautiful concept.
So, working prior, I had a in-home daycare for 10 years. I focused on boys, their corpus callosum, and the way that they think. And with that said, I learned very quickly that I needed to lower my voice, and all the cute stuff in my classroom that I had on the wall needed to come down. I painted the walls green, and I painted the ceiling blue. And I was very simplistic and used nature. I started asking them to go get me 10 leaves instead of asking them to move little beads or, any of that nature. I started asking them to jump 10 sidewalk blocks, things of that nature. So when it came to my husband does general contracting, and somebody had ordered some prefab stairs. So we knew the dimensions and everything. So he built them and planned to put them together on their job site, but they ended up flaking out. So with that said, we had stairs just sitting, and he said, okay, I'm gonna turn these stairs upside down, and I'm gonna fill them, and we're gonna put it by the window.
Nice.
And so we put it by the window, and then we planted some beans and things, and it actually grew, and the kids were able to see the little carrots and stuff, and we grew everything that I was already cooking. So we made it seem like all of that was what, but it wasn't. But they, it was just in there, right? And so it just increased their engagement. But the other thing for the girls, they wanted to decorate the plants and stuff. They wanted to put jewelry or something on it. So it enticed me to see what else was possible. And as I always grown up, you're kind of stuck to your gemstone, your amethyst or a pearl or a sapphire, whatever, your month is, you're kind of attached to that, but like kind of why? And there's other spaces in which I need to know these other stones and what they do, so I just started to try to learn. I'm not 100% acclimated, but I had kidney and liver issues, and that color is yellow. And so I wanted to know those stones that were available to try to heal kidney and liver, issues. And so citrine, the yellower type stone, was the stone that came up instant. And then when I went to the stone places, they would also, immediately recommend that stone. And I said, most of my clients that I'm growing with now, that I'm not an in-home daycare person and I'm professionally farming, going to people's houses, are struggling with detoxing the liver and kidneys. So I bring about this stone because the kids love to put it in. They think that, it's like that nice little top layer. I don't want to say mulch because I don't give them that much, to use. But learning that stones were so important. Our ancestors and where we were growing had a lot of rocks, had a lot of stones. And that was what was important for keeping the land warm when it was extremely cold. So there was an extreme benefit to having these. And then when I go to healing gardens, you hear water, you see the rocks, but you don't correlate these things. You hear the chimes, so all elements, including what's coming out of the ground. And there's a lot of, like when I was in Cuba farming in Montanza, their farm was on top of a cave. And this cave had nothing but crystals in it. And so I just, the lushness of their crops and the things that they were doing, very hands off, more of that forestry growing style, and never kind of replanting. I really equated that to them being so near and dear to all elements, and that did include those gems and those stones. So as I get into it, I'm interested in growing for health. And when I started for someone and I know that they have cardio issues, I'm looking for red stones. I'm looking for red Swiss chard. I'm looking for beets. I'm looking for the things that look like your blood. That's what I'm interested in helping you have in your garden. If you know you have lung issues, we might be looking more at a moonlight garden because we need that blue, that silvery blue kind of, color for. So different organs require different things, although green and chlorophyll is good for everything.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so that's how I correlate the stone colors as we speak until I become more acclimated.
Wow, so this type of growing with stones, is there a specific name in agriculture for the type? Because it's aquaculture, there's permaculture, it's all types of cultures. So is there a specific name?
No, I really believe that it is just I think that it's an omission that we haven't paid attention to. But it's always, it's there. We're digging a lot, to do a farm. And I'm zero till to a certain extent,
Yeah.
So I feel like we're digging up the lime, we're digging up all of the beneficial things for our areas. And I just think that I'm adding beauty. I'm being conscious about the stone and what the stone's purpose is. And I'm also being very conscious about the health disparity or the deficiency or the dis-ease, because it's very possible to ease the dis, So it doesn't have to be, when you say disease, you're like, oh, I'm down, I'm doomed, But if you say dis-ease, you mean I can ease my heart dis-ease, So it's a change of the game, and adding things to it just brings a different energy. And I know big stones are expensive, so that's why I'm using like stone chips and, the cheaper, the cheaper route for how you access stones.
Wow, this is amazing. So, what I'm going to ask for our Veteran Women in Ag Conference, it's coming up. It's America's first Veteran Women in Ag Conference ever. We are saluting our sheroes on July 6th and 7th there in Oklahoma City. And I want to ask you to come to that class on with these stones, because that's something unique that could be taken to a different level. Like you said, we love stones. I mean, that's what we call ourselves, the Agri Divas, because we love some bling.
Yeah.
That's part of our culture. That's right. Culture with the most females love some, and what they want, the biggest diamond of everything. That's what it is, a stone. So I always tell people, let's be smart, common sense, and make this thing really roll out in the health aspect of it. Because I constantly tell young girls, you could say you fly, you cute and all this stuff, but you're not cute if you're not eating, you're not doing things right. I don't care what you put on. I don't care how much. You're
not gonna be too long.
If you're like ugly and not really putting the right things in your body and in your soul, number one, because if it comes from your soul, it's going to grow the right way. If your soul is right. And I try to really put those positive nuggets in them, and that's young men as well. But those type things, we need people and women like you who's on a whole different, real holistic level, because I think that's what has happened to our culture as well as across the United States and all cultures. Everyone's so selfish and into their own being of whatever they're doing. And as a result of that, nothing's growing, not even the cultures, not even people's health, their finances are not growing, because they are not right. They're just not putting good things in. It's just a bunch of like, let me get this for me and my family. And then nothing happens. It stays right there. The numbers don't add up. And I speak a lot about numbers and all this. And I had to use it on some government people. I said, how are you going to listen to a couple of people opposed to our reputation of 15 years almost in the game? And we then overgrew more than most people, get tons of money and they have no deliverables. So does those numbers add up? There's been people in the game something years, and there's nothing at all they could show as far as the deliverable, what they've done for someone else. Period.
Keep getting funding. There's no proof.
And that's where leadership that we have to start being smarter and really being intentional on where this money is going. And that's what we want to speak to the president. I skip over all that Congress people. I didn't been down those roads. I want the presidents. You got to see what we're doing to, like, people like you guys, what you're doing. That's a whole nother level of learning and getting that good life skill in them with a whole unique way. Like I've never thought about adding a stone to the soil to grow, and I call it soil. And I teach the kids soil. It's not dirt. Dirt is, I tell them that's trash. Yes,
Right,
but
right, right.
I am so honored to be with you all. But I want to hear from Mr. Jerry Rye, your co-director as well. Jerry is so real. When he told me something that radiated, Jerry, I tell people what you told me about minority groups you've seen out here. I want you to tell the world how you felt, how you got in the game with National Women in Agriculture.
So I've been developing a conference called the Freedom to Grow Conference. And the reason why is because I moved from Ohio to Texas years ago. And during that time, I did a year of basically agriculture conferences, all different types. Uh, they all they were all lacking. And what I mean by lacking, I mean there was technology out there. This is 6 years ago, and that was not brought up at any conferences. There are robots that are out right now, and then that was not brought up. The cannabis industry had quite form here, but it was happening up north, everywhere else. Waiting to hear, hey, you guys know this is coming. They're talking about or whispering about it. It wasn't brought up until I got to a conference in Atlanta where it was a lot more youthful.
Yes.
I went from the minority landowners conference where I was the youngest to the Bugs conference in Atlanta where I was probably the oldest.
Right.
But in doing that, I started organizations that I could align with, that I could share this new concept around what the agricultural conference should look like in the 21st century.
Right.
And it just be about, oh, the food was either good or wasn't good.
Right.
Right.
So
right.
I ran into the National Black Farmers Association, and I tried to contact them for 2 years, getting voicemail. And as I learned through the industry, talking to others, they ran into the same issue and couldn't get one. I will say the National Black Farmers and Agriculture Association, who
I'm getting some
Gary
audio,
Grant.
something going on. Can he come a little closer? Because I'm getting some audio feedback or some breaking. Can you come some closer? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, is that better?
Oh, much better. Yes.
Yeah, it's too far. Okay, so then I ran into Gary Grant, who was the founder of the National Black Agriculture and Farmers Association, and he was more helpful. He was dealing with some health issues, but he was helpful, and he gave me some history behind what went on. And I always ask, why are so many organizations? You know, why? And he gave me some history, so I learned very quickly. And you know, I'm not here to drag anybody.
Don't even go there.
When I saw the National Women, and I listened to you speak, you were speaking to one of the representatives, Republican representatives here in Texas, and you had made a statement, and you were very passionate. But you made a statement about 4-H and FAA, and you were saying, you know, hey, they get funded every year, but we don't. There's no one funding our inner city children every year. There's not another organization. And I knew growing up, you know, in a urban setting that 4-H wasn't in my school.
Right.
But 4-H was in rural schools. And you know, USDA is starting this whole urban agricultural push, but there's no urban agriculture organization. No. And so the passion that you put behind it, I called Darceia. I said, I think I found an organization that we can work with. I said, I think it's very progressive. I said, and it's something that I feel I can get behind. And so I did research on the organization yourself, saw the chapters, and whatnot. And we already had a really great chapter leader in
Yes,
Waco.
I was already working
Yeah,
with
Kay
her.
Yeah,
Bell.
K-Bell.
Yeah,
She's
so when I
awesome.
see her, you heard of this organization? She said, yeah, that's what Kay Bell does. And I
Hmm.
had been to that one of the conferences when I thought back when I first got here that I had attended. And I said,
Mhm.
okay. So, it's time for you to start a chapter here, and we need to get behind this lady who I hadn't met you at that time yet. I said, but we need to get behind her and push for her to be a line item on the federal budget level.
Thank
So
you.
you're very welcome. I met another young lady out of Arkansas named Keisha Cobb, and
Yes,
she
I
I told
mean.
her what she was doing, and she, instantly went into wanting to start her chapter there. And once again, it was the same type of energy that I was looking for. If I'm going to
Good.
get behind the organization and push to build chapters and whatnot, like you said, I need to see that you're moving and that you're
Hmm.
passionate and that this is a desire that you have on your own, more so
Yes.
than it being like me personally involved in it. So that's just where we are today. We are excited about the National Women in Agriculture. I tell a lot of the guys this is a great place if you want to support women in general and really step back. So I'm here to support Darceia. I support Keisha. I
Yeah.
do,
But you're
uh,
our king. We support you. We want to bring you out as that expert in aquaculture and everything you're doing because they always say behind every good man, there's a good woman. But I feel just the opposite. I mean, I
it,
feel
it,
that you have to have a male leading us to protect us, if nothing else. Because I don't care if I say things, whatever, how passionate, it still doesn't radiate to most people until it comes from a male. Because this is a male dominated world, period.
yeah,
Why I'm
right
here at
now.
this conference here. It is right now in the flesh. And I'm like, I pause to that. Because I tell them I don't want to be lifting up a bunch of water hoses and mess with it. I don't have no desire. That's a man's job. But at the same time, to have your voice behind us, and as you know, Dr. Corey Floyd, that's my right hand man. I mean, he literally
Yeah,
gets on when we get to even having our private conversations behind closed doors and even talking. He knows how to intervene professionally and go divert us down another route. Like this is not the venue
right.
or the forum or the platform for that, and we have to yield to it. We shut up and go on about our business and do something else. And he oversees our
Mhm.
financial, and he knows who's the real ones, who's the fakes. Like, no, we're not going to do that. Or tell me no. He has other. We have our choice of words that nah,
Right.
that's not real. We're gonna go this route. So I'm very, very thinking. I see that Ann Warrior. I always mispronounce her name, but she's our chapter leader down in Palm Beach, Florida. She has a whole fruit orchard, and she's telling you that she wants to. I would love to know what gemstones would be good to add to the soil for thyroid issues. Expert lady, it's all yours.
Awesome. So it's regarding thyroid issues. I'm not familiar too much with the stones because, like I said, I'm so new into what stones would be used for thyroids. But if I'm not mistaken, any stone that resonates with you in particular, you're gonna gravitate towards the energy that you need. When I went in, went directly towards the stones that I was deficient in. So it's not something that I can definitely tell you, but I do say go to the gem and stone, place, see what your energy gravitates towards, and then you build in that area because it could be thyroids now, but what is that root issue? What is the root? What's the thing that is helping, feed into or has restricted you from getting those nutrients or whatever it is that needs to heal for that particular part of your body, whether it be your heart, your liver, your spleen. What is the actual cause? What is the deficiency that you have? Because it's not just about what I can do for what stone can do for you. What stone do you gravitate towards, and what do you need to work on first? So that's my number one thing. It's not a prescription. You know, we're kind of in the mindset that we, this is wrong and this is what we have to do. If I know you have a cardio issue or I know you have heart issues, I'm going more towards these red stones because that color and those red foods will definitely feed to that. But there's also something other that there's many stones. So you might gravitate towards a different red stone than Jerry might gravitate towards, so you just definitely got to go and you got to see exactly what you need, because it might not be, you might go and you might be 100% in love with a rose quartz because you might have heart issues, and emotionally, socially, that might be causing your thyroid problems.
That's right.
So we got to balance out what is the real root of the problem. And a lot of times, because we're so reactive, we're trying to go for, just that one thing, but we definitely got to pay attention to what your body's telling you to do.
Awesome. So stone gardening, ladies and gentlemen, as you hear it, this is a whole holistic spiritual connection back to actually what's in our earth. I mean, our earth is formed from different stones and elements of the soil that we don't realize it's there, but that's like, to me, that's the crust that holds the earth together, or the stones, if you will. So we're drilling down further past the soils and bringing that back out to add to the elements of growing. So it's beautiful. Out of the whole concept, I'm loving it. So I want to kind of divert back. I'm kind of going back and forth, but I want to go back to make sure with FSA and NRCS, our two main grant funders, the reason we are even on the show, but to make sure people know that those programs are there to help individual farmers. Grants, no. I don't want to mislead anyone. You have to be a nonprofit or a college to receive grant funding from these two agencies. However, they have individual resources for farmers, meaning loans, even down to a youth loan. And that's one thing I am very, very, it's dear to my heart with FSA, because my goal is to get more young people in, help them get the loan to get their farm operation going. But while they're growing and going, we're setting up trust funds. When they finish high school, that loan is paid off. Even if the organization have to set and match it or pay it off for them, they have stayed consistent enough for us to fund our children and give them those platforms and funding they need to start their actual farm operation. That's how you develop new Black farmers or new minority farmers, however you want to put it. These are intentional things that we are trying to partner with FSA that, I've had some stumbles, but I mean, hey, like I told them, do the numbers. When they came at me talking crazy, the number, don't mess with me. I'm like, you talking to someone that have a little education, but you do the numbers and say, if it doesn't add up, it doesn't add up. It's 15 years of community service, 60 chapters, and a few. Now, a few don't like me, and I'm okay with that because that's what makes me grow. Because I have to have that to keep me humble and on my toes. I call them blessing lessons. Excuse me?
You need fertilizer.
That's all it is. I'm like, bring it on. All they do is be sharpening me. Because you know what? When they're talking and moving and doing what they're doing, I'm setting strategize. Okay, how am I handle that? How we got to put that in place. And, my backing team that's behind me, the Corys, Dr. Corys, and different one with you all. It's like, hey, we have different programs. We put holes in that. You guys got to come up on a committee, but that's business off record. But our thing is, our people don't realize when you doing a movement like we're doing, when it's ordained by the Most High, you can't touch it. Because anything that's not ordained for many, to me, it's not real anyway. Because the numbers, God would not set and let us keep growing and growing, and to the point, you guys, that pray that we get in August, have our first garden party in the backyard at the White House, in the garden, the people's garden. You feel me? I'm here, right here with the people, our main chapter leaders up here. You're going to love them. We're doing DMV Prosperity Summit, but doing that, bringing our people up, our main chapters leaders up here, do that garden party in the bag. So all these things that we're doing can come to fruition, and we get this executive order and get this bill passed on down before November.
Yeah.
Now I'm on that before November, and I meet next Saturday. I'm a speaker at the 100 Black Men Forum. So businessmen, it's their 36th anniversary or 37th, I'm not sure, but they have me as a speaker with the Black Negro Foundation people, Wells Fargo, to be rubbing elbows with some people that could further bring on some help.
Mhm.
Getting this petition to 5,000 that we have on our website. Well,
Yeah.
we've just connected with a huge mega church in California. We're just like, you know what? Drop that petition in that church on Sunday. Let everybody sign. Let's get this petition out the way.
Right. We need to
That's what we need it at mega churches. So
Yeah.
I'm excited because I definitely have my woes, but leaders like you all in your community that believe in me, and I believe in you all. And I'm like, go make all the money you can with your chapter of the National Women in Agriculture. Their grants.gov have whatever you want. You see, if I have a template, I'm gonna shoot it to you because that's how much I believe in you all, what you're doing. I try to make life easier because I know when I'm blessed, you all are blessed, and vice versa. I'm a businesswoman, so I know that that's how it works. People, you can't be using my name. You know what? Your one name is not going to be. It's not going to make or break the trust.
Right.
Yeah. So I want you all to talk to me a little about some of your hurdles, and then so we could go toward the end of the show because I could go on and on with our passions and our feelings and all that. I don't want to get too emotional, but talk to me about some hurdles you had in this industry.
Definitely dealing with urban agriculture when it's not rooted in indigenous execution. When it's time for the grant money to be funded, or it comes
Mhm.
down to white organizations, and then those organizations get the funding, get our ideas, and force us to comply with their way of implementation in our communities for our people. And then they want to give you a W-2 and pay you very little. And then once again, there's no measurable that is met to say that our community is improving, that we're eating better, that it always resorts to a food drive or a food giveaway, and which really undermines the people who grow.
That's
And
right.
Right.
so
Exactly.
food that they're giving you doesn't mean that it's natural, and doesn't mean that it's farm fresh. It doesn't mean that it's garden to table. And they're tricking the minds by making sure that these opportunities are held, the giveaways are held at a garden. So
Mm.
it's not
This
a thing. And
horrible.
it's confusing to me on why it's okay
Mm-hmm.
and why we're not able to get these dollars that belong to us anyway
Mm-hmm.
and execute and be held accountable, if we're not executing properly. But it just seems like when there are new things that they offer here in Dallas, there's a small circle, that gets it, and we are shunned out. The information isn't given. Like hemp is, now new and has been coming, but we don't get, when we go to talk to the big ag institutions, they're not forthcoming with the information. That's our biggest challenge.
Yeah,
Funding and
I hear you. Crazy. I think now that we have a whole hemp piece in our organization, and I mean, out of Atlanta, you have Alexis Harris. She sits on like the hemp board. Corey and she, they are very knowledgeable and they know some loopholes. So I'm not going to go down that road because that's not my lane. But these two individuals, they sit on some association. So, that's the reason how I had to come out of Oklahoma doing what I do, because the hardest place to actually believe in you and respect you and support you is home. And I tell that those are just nuggets, because that's I don't know. I don't even know how to really say it. I want to say like a Southern or some type of cultural type issue that we have. I mean, but that's where you got to go out. That's the reason we have the resources that they have support in Atlanta. Alexis and her father sit on the board, and we actually sponsored her to go to Colorado as far as to get the information and bring back. So there's your connect, and I could connect. You hit Atlanta, Miss Noreen Whitehead. She'll get you right connected to Alexis. Alexis Harris is her name, and her dad. They are very heavy into that whole industry of hemp. And I hear you as far as the what bothers me more is when people sell their souls. They are so I call it selling their souls, where they will do that in the garden and act like it's really locally grown food to their own people. That's devil work to me, because you can lie and make, that's just like selling drugs to me. You can sell drugs to people and cause their bodies to be hurt. Well, we know how many chemicals are in foods at the grocery store to stay on the shelf. My assistant could show you. I have an apple that's been sitting on my desk, and I do this every blue to see how long would it sit there and not rot. I swear it's going on 2 months, if not into 3, and it's not even rot.
It won't get brown. It will not oxidate. Once you bite.
And you know that chemical that's in there. Could you imagine that does it to an actual vegetable that they have, that we have setting out, and nothing's. Could you imagine what's going on in the inside of us? And again, I don't eat enough locally grown things, but I try to. I hear that you all have to scoop, and I don't want to keep holding on too much longer. What are the last words of you would like to give to the public about yourself? I want to also give your website. Make sure, because this is your platform. What are the words of encouragement you would give anyone in this agriculture industry?
I would definitely say look out and support the Texas urban ag culture, because agriculture is everything. I would also say that National Women in Agriculture Dallas is starting our new chapter. We need members. Please come on to help with a great intention and a skill set that you would like to share. That's key to us. And then I would like Jerry to talk about our conference that is coming up and see how you can get involved.
Yes, Jerry Rock. I love saying that, Jerry Rock. I love it.
So, the Freedom to Grow conference is coming in October of 2023. So we're giving plenty of time. It's very innovative conference. It's based on opportunities and or solutions. It is a woman-led conference, and when I say woman-led, I mean 95% of our speakers are women. 95 of our vendors will be women. And so it is my job to support and push the women forward so that we can change the system and change agriculture. As you know, you stated earlier, from a more patriotic system to a more patriotic system.
Right.
We need these healing hands right now, and women have always been the healers and close, what I say, closer to God because of the cycles.
That's right. That's it.
To grow. It will tentatively. We are planning for Atlanta, Georgia, in October of 2023. So just look out. You can come to the website, freedomtogrow.com. And
can you put that on there, please? I want to get it typed in there so we can have it. Okay. And then the Freedom to Grow. She's putting it up so people can get it.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's possible. He's saying tentatively because we had opportunity for it to be in Hawaii.
So we have.
We got Hawaii.
Yeah.
Well, you know, like you said, need a vacation too, and so we have to plan around them. Even though this isn't a farmer-based conference, this is an entrepreneur-based conference. Right. But I have to move it to January
if it's going to be
in Hawaii.
I understand for the warmth and all that. I got you. I understand. And I don't know if I can do it because I'll be in Africa, which brings me to another point. I need to talk to you all offline about going over with me
Okay.
to Africa. Really, seriously, I just got.
I
We're
got a
partnered with the international, but I
Get a-
definitely want you all to try to go with me to
definitely.
do some work. Yep.
I'm there.
All righty. Well, again, you all, it's always a pleasure when I see you guys bless my soul in so many ways. Just to be a part of our organization. I'm one of those people before, this is always said, before you go like blabbing anything about me, always just come and talk to me because I'm probably like the easiest person. I get in trouble a lot from my board because I believe this type of work has to come from your heart. So I'm not a micromanager, which, well, why are you giving them what? Because, I mean, my thing is, this is what the organization is about. We want people to do this work from their heart. If they're not doing the work, they're not doing the work. That's the way agriculture is. It's not going to grow, nothing's happening, and they'll slush themselves off one way or another. So with that being said, keep doing what you do. And like I always say on Wednesday, Women in Ag Wednesday, it's a great day in ag to make that bag. Y'all
All
have
right.
a great day. Thank you.
Great day.
One, two, 1, 2. Here we go. It's my time to rise. It's my time to shine. It's my time to live. It's my time to fly. It's my time. It's my time. I can see it. I can feel it. Time has come now to reveal it. I've been waiting for a long time. Gotta do it. And won't let nothing hold me down. Gotta do it. Because I may not get another chance. I believe